Previously.
We got a damaged quarter panel, a dog leg. This entire back door is sunken in. And if you look at this fender, this thing is pretty mangled. Got some damage all over. Most of the dog leg damage had to be pulled out. Then I moved on to using my spotter tool to raise all of the damaged metal on the quarter panel. Next, the bent door had to be worked back into its original position with use of a hydraulic attachment. Now with both doors lining up perfectly, I still had to do some work on the door skins on both doors. And then once again I finished off all of the metal work with the spotter tool. So the metal work is all done and everything turned out great. So in today's video, I will go ahead and throw some body filler on all of the panels that we fixed, and then it will primer the entire side of the car. And I will also do some plastic welding on that airbox that has a broken off mount, and I also discovered later on that it's got a big old crack running down the other side of it. And also the front bumper cover, gonna get some work done on it because it got warped due to a result of the accident, and there's also a crack in it that I'll have to fix. Guys, you know how much I like to build my own tools. Well, I got one more for you, and I call this one my motorized Bondo mixing table. And this thing is awesome. Look at that. It's got a glass top, 4 wheels, and just like my Tesla, this thing is 100% electric. So body filler on both doors is done 100% and is ready for primer. However, the quarter panel and a fender still require some more work. And since forecast is calling for rain sometime overnight, I will go ahead and get both doors primered today, and I will resume working on a quarter panel and a fender once it dries up a bit. All right, let's put down some primer. Oh wait, what's this? I'm all out. This can only mean one thing. I'm gonna run out and grab with some more primer, and also I'll pick up some base coat while I'm at it. But first, I need one for the road.
Okay, so after tax, your total is going to be $114.36.
Ooh, man, this stuff ain't cheap.
Yeah, well, that's the painting tree for you.
There's that, and there's... Oh, yeah, why don't you take it all?
All right, got it there.
Hey, I guess the forecasters weren't lying because it's really coming down. Man, the weather's been weird today. It's raining, then it gets sunny, and all that. So, but I went ahead and got my tent out, little canopy, just to kind of keep out of the rain. And so it looks like it's gonna rain again here in a little bit. So instead of getting down and sanding all of this, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna build a tool that I've been wanting to build for a while now. And that tool will allow me to mark out my body lines. So this way I can get my body lines taped off and not sand them down while I'm doing my sanding work. Therefore, that's how I will preserve them and make sure that my body lines will stay nice and crisp as I sand. Parts we're going to need: a couple of bolts, a nut, a pencil, piece of wood. This just happens to be a piece of plywood, and also some kind of a piece of trim I had sitting around. So whenever I build this kind of stuff, I just usually use stuff that I have sitting around. I'm gonna put some tape on this trim so this way as I cut it, it's not gonna splinter as much. I'm gonna measure out 7 inches or about 18 centimeters. So the tape preserved this edge from breaking up and splintering out. It also wouldn't hurt to clean it up a bit. I put some tape on the bit so this way I know not to go past that. So same idea, to keep the splintering down, I put some tape on both sides of this wooden trim. After making the holes, I went ahead and took the tape off, but I kind of like the more of a finished look of the gauge with the tape on it, so I went ahead and reapplied new tape on, and this is kind of what I got. I know it's not perfect, but hey, it's only taking me 10 minutes to build this thing, and it will serve its purpose. So there you go. I could not find a wing nut in my bucket of bolts, so I just went ahead and made one. And this is what we got. So I went ahead and knocked down some of the body filler until I revealed my actual body line up here. And I know that my body line was not disturbed up here, but further down this way, I did have some damage where to the actual body line where I had to bring it up, and so it's a little rough there, and in order to get that body line out perfect, that's where you'd use this little tool. I'm gonna bring this part down until the lead of the pencil will hit the body line, and it's hitting exactly where I want it. So I'll go ahead and get this tightened up. Double check, yep, and I'm hitting that body line perfectly. So I'll just go ahead and continue running it. And that's my body line, so I would do the same thing here. Right now the body line is hidden by the thicker layer of body filler. Once again, you can see the body line that peeks through the filler right here, so I gotta set the gauge right to it. So I just continued all the way over. And if you look right here, this body line actually continues all the way onto the door. And also we got another body line that runs all the way down this way. And it's pretty thin, but I'll go ahead and also get it marked out. And another tip, if you guys are ever in doubt, if you think, hey, you know what, I'm not sure if that line looks right or not, you can always go to the opposite side of a car. You would use the undamaged side of the car as a point of reference. Then you would set your gauge so it would follow the undisturbed body line of a good side, and then you would transfer that measurement to the side in question. So now, as I stand here, the area under the tape will stay undisturbed. Therefore, I will preserve all of that. And then once I'll get done with this area right here, I will reverse the tape and attack the area that's currently under the tape right now. So this way I'll have a razor sharp body line all the way across. You obviously don't want your newly made body line to look sharper than the factory one. So I normally would use 320 grit paper to round it off until it would match the factory line. So I will feather my primer out a little past my work area, so this way I can cover up a lot of these scratches and kind of give it a little better transition with primer onto the existing surface. And I'll do that with 320 grit paper. In the next video, we'll get everything painted, and then we'll move on to the interior, where we'll replace both of the blown airbags, and then we'll get this seat stitched back up, and also the airbag module will get reprogrammed. Guys, I hope that you liked the video, and as usual, don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you have some questions or suggestions for the channel, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be seeing you in the next video here real soon, so stay tuned.